Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I don't know what time it is by you right now, but what I do know is that this is a Prosperity by Design podcast. I'm your host, Fallon. It's like Jimmy Fallon, but it's my first name. So I actually took a picture on my first recording of this episode, and I am gonna post it because I got a swanky new birthday present for my 30th birthday, and that's what today's episode has everything to do with. Uh, the insights that I've had since turning 30. I've had some of these before turning 30, but I really wanted to just put them someplace all together that they can live and put it on the podcast. So, and also bring in my new swanky microphone because it's awesome. All right, so as you can tell, this is another side note really fast before we get into those insights. My nose is like super clogged. I can't fix it. There's thunderstorms outside. Um, I think it probably has to do with the ragweed. I don't really know. But what I do know is that this happens at least once a week, and I don't have the time to like not do this. And today I have the energy to do it. So that's why I'm like, I'm going to do it whether I sound disgusting or not. So, your patience through this absolutely nasally episode is much appreciated. I'm going to blow my nose. Give me a second. That's me attempting to blow my nose because I can't get anything out of it. So, like, yeah, that's just the deal. Okay, so insights that I've learned since turning 30. So, first things first, I had this, like, in the later half of my 20s, I was just so hard on myself for maybe an apparent reason, but really no apparent reason whatsoever. And it was just absolutely, like, I really didn't need any of the pressure that I actually put onto myself. I was focused on how much I didn't have, or what I didn't have, or who had this, or who had that, or, whatever. And I think that media really kind of just turned the volume up on a lot of it because I have, like, since 2017, and I tell this story all the time, since 2017, I've been trying to make money online. And originally in 2017, that's when I had that pure intention, like to go onto YouTube and to create a travel YouTube channel and to post videos, but like I was so embarrassed because I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was scared, and I didn't want anybody to see me. But from YouTube, I went to a blog. I spent money on a website and on WordPress, and I hated WordPress, but like I wanted to make money on a blog, so I tried it, and then I took a year to kind of just figure things out when I came back from living abroad in the Czech Republic. And then in 2020, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to create an online business. Like, I've always wanted to make money online. And, at the time I was a personal trainer. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And nobody knew that the pandemic was going to happen. Maybe some people did, but they didn't tell the majority of people in the world. And so I want to say, what was it, like 4 years ago now? I turned 26 in 2019, and I've been really hard on myself ever since then. I criticized myself for where I was in my life. I criticized myself for what job I had, for how much money I was bringing in. In later years, in 2020, 2021, I criticized myself for my business. I criticized myself for my living situation, for not being responsible with my money. The list goes on and on and on. And ultimately, it resulted in like 4 straight years of me being just absolutely miserable for no reason other than to exert misery onto myself and to shame myself for what I was doing and cry myself to sleep and to feel helpless and like to even change what was going on. Like, I literally just made myself feel bad every single year on September 2nd because, well, this is what I would literally think. I remember it like it was yesterday. I turned 28, 2021, September 2nd of 2021. I turned 28. I remember crying at my desk and being like, this is not where I wanted to be a year ago. Like, I thought my life would look so much differently, and this is not the scenario that I wanted for myself at 28. And then I remember at 29, I was with my mom, and I had Penelope at the time, and I was like, when is this going to change? I just remember thinking, when is this going to change? When is this going to get better? And like, the thing is, you you are responsible for it getting better, or you are responsible for changing the circumstances, or you are responsible for ultimately taking, I mean, people don't talk about this enough, like, you are responsible for taking divine action. Like, manifestation just, you don't just, yes, there is the law of attraction, okay, but you have to also act on things. It's not just going to show itself into your life on a silver platter, okay? Just doesn't work that way. So, anyways, in the last 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks by now, because today is the September 7th, 2023. The last 6 weeks, I've taken a major step back from social media. I have been posting here and there, like, don't get me wrong. I've been on Instagram posting, like, Penelope's breakfast, or stuff about my podcast, or, little insights here and there. I actually did share a little bit about my 30th birthday in a graphic the other day, which inspired me to record this podcast. But also, did you hear that? That was my nose. That's not natural. Like, that's not natural. But also, this microphone inspired me to, record this episode. Anyways, in the last 6 weeks, I've taken a huge step back from Instagram, and I really have not been on TikTok since like May, because what I noticed in the last, I don't know, I want to say 4 or 5 months, because I did take a huge step back from TikTok in May. What I've noticed is that my circumstances and my life are so much happier when I'm not sitting here and feeling in pain for my scenario and for my circumstances. I was attaching my version of success to what people were saying is success online. And that's just not true. Another insight, in case you were wondering. Your version of success is completely subjective to you. And if you want to manifest your success into your life, you need to know what it is for you before you go out and do something because somebody else said that making 5-figure months or 6-figure months or a 7-figure year is success. Because that person is marketing. They're not being a person, they're marketing. Like my grandfather says, they're not in business to do favors. They're not. They think they're doing you a favor, but they're not. They might be inspiring, sure, but what you're going to find more often than not is, oh my god, my nose is leaking. I'm so sorry. But I'm not going to take this out of the episode because then otherwise it wouldn't be fucking real. You know what I mean? It so bothers me that every single time this happens, my ears pop. And it's they don't pop to get the mucus out of my system. They pop the opposite way, to fuck up my eardrums. Anyways, I was talking about people in the online space marketing. Because they're not in business to do favors. They're in business to make profit. They're in business to do business. They want to make you believe that, they care. And I'm sure there are people who do. And I've met a few of them. But over the past, I don't know, since 2019, I guess, there are a lot of them who don't really care, and they're very far removed, and they say they want to make an impact, but if they really wanted to make an impact, I feel like it wouldn't be so diluted and vague and like, oh, I'm looking for the quantum leap and I'll show you how to quantum leap to manifest your best life. Like, what even is that? Like, what even is that? So, this step back for me was prompted by a meeting that transpired with somebody in August. Oh my God, it was so awful. It was god awful. And I thought that this person for a long time was a really good friend that I had met online. And I really thought that this person was like a fan of mine. She supported me. And like, here I am, I'm on this call with her, and she's like ripped me a new one. I was not about it. I was like, yeah, okay, I can understand that my profile would be a mirror for things, but like some of the things that she was saying is just absolutely not fucking true at all. For me to not be confident, okay, you need to take a step back, miss, and you need to reassess what's going on, because I don't really think you do know what's going on. You don't have the same scenario. You don't have the same responsibilities. You don't have the same issues or habits. It's a totally and completely different story and circumstance. And you're going to sit there and tell me that I don't have the confidence? Girl, become a mother and then tell me that. Because I have the confidence. It just takes a little while to turn itself on. Every woman, whether they have a kid or not, has a nurturing instinct. It just takes a little while for them to understand the schedule of their child, to be able to give them a diaper change or a feeding, or if they need to go down for a nap. Like, you don't even know. Like, you don't even know, because you aren't even living the scenario. And you have the audacity to say to me these kinds of things. All right, well, you know what? That's fine. We're not friends anymore. I don't know that we ever really were. And for you to tell me that I can't just go create something and charge whatever amount of money, you realize that you did the same thing to multiple people that I know. And you're going to sit here and tell me that I can't charge whatever amount of money that I want because now you're a financial expert too? Yeah, okay. Just to let you know, you don't become a master of something in 2 years. You become a master of something once you've put in 10,000 hours. So when you've put in 10,000 hours, you can let me know. And if you're actually listening to this episode, I sure hope that you do log your hours and prove it to me. But you're not going to do that because you don't have anything to prove now, do you? Right. But you want to know what? Even though that meeting sucked, and I'm kind of venting about it now, the best thing that came out of that meeting was me. I came out of that meeting. That person said some pretty shitty things to me about myself, but I came out of that meeting in one fucking piece. And I made the decision that I needed to take a step back and let go of forcing something to work because of money, or forcing something to work because this is how I see it in my head, or forcing something to work because I need it to work. Those aren't good enough reasons. It's not a good enough reason for you to get into business, or for you to start creating online, or for you to share. Like, those aren't reasons to share. That's like regurgitation. All of that is regurgitation. So anyways, 5 days ago I turned 30, and I feel like I have truly stepped into my I don't give a fuck era. I'm excited for my future. I'm excited to completely shift the content that I'm going to be talking about on my profile, on my podcast, in my graphics, on my Instagram, in my YouTube, and to share what I'm learning through the transformations that I'm having right now, through transformations I've had in the past, and through experiences that I could share with you. Like, I've made all of these mistakes. Like, I've made a shitload of them. And, like, the whole point is to share them with you so you don't make them. And I'm excited for who it's going to help and where this is going to go. Because if I have learned anything in the past 4 years of being in this world, there was nothing better than giving a big old middle finger to anyone or anything that doesn't serve you. I'm going to sneeze. You know, it still was that loud and I didn't even sneeze into the mic. So I'm just saying. Like, this is how bad my sinuses are, and I actually, hold on. Sorry. Just about 2 years ago now, I actually got admitted to the hospital because I had something called potato mouth, or like hot potato mouth, whatever. And the doctor's like, if you don't go to the hospital, you might asphyxiate, like you might suffocate and die. I was like, that's not good. So I went to the hospital. Turns out I didn't suffocate or die. Obviously. So, anyways, in conclusion, turning 30 made me realize that there is so much time and so much opportunity and so much, like, openness for change. And the exciting part is that I get to take the change, like I get to implement the steps today. You know, like if you wanted to change your investment habits, that starts with you taking a habit, like taking a step towards investing today. What does that look like? Maybe it looks like opening up a Roth IRA. Maybe it looks like setting aside $10. Maybe it looks like setting aside $500. Like, you look at your bank account and you decide what's going to be a good amount for you. But the idea is to start taking, like, seize the day. Like, carpe diem. You know, like, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know. You can't change what happened in the past. The only thing that you can change is this moment. And if you know that you want to live your life a certain way, and you know that you want to do certain things, and if you know that there are certain experiences that you do or do not want to have, you have to take the steps now. You have to implement the habits now. You have to take the actions now, because there is no other time. You don't know that there's going to be any other time. It's not guaranteed to you. These, like, thunderstorms, they're, like, coming in real hot. So I'm going to wrap things up here. But I am very glad that you tuned in today. This is my new swanky microphone, so let me know if you like the quality of this episode, because I probably won't be able to record on this until we move into our new place. Yes, we're moving again. But in any case, we have 2 microphones now, so I do anticipate that I am going to be hosting some guest appearances in person on the podcast, and we might even start recording more frequently on video, so then we could also put this on YouTube as well. So thanks for tuning in. If you have not yet left a review, please be sure to do so. The first 50 people who leave a review are going to get a goodie box in the mail. You actually have to leave the review, though, not just take a screenshot and post it on your Instagram stories. That doesn't quite count. It's got to be on the podcast. I have to be able to see it when I pull up Apple or Spotify. And it's always appreciated, because any review always helps the algorithm. Last thing, be sure to check out the Seasons of Business. It is the, the routine conclusion here. I don't even know that you can hear the rain in the background, but routine conclusion to the episodes lately. If you have not checked it out, the link is going to be down in the show notes in the description below. So thanks for tuning in, and I can't wait to talk to you very, very soon.